Welcome everyone today in the gallery and for those of you that are at home watching online. And we have an international audience, I think, today, and people from as far away as California and a few other places. So welcome to our next concert, live stream concert with dinner. So we're eating corned beef and cabbage, and some of you also eating that at home. That's great. And you've been enjoying the music by Scott Sopata. And you can tell already from the introductory song how many instruments he has with him. So, and he has more at home that he did not bring. He's quite a talented musician, but actually he's an IT tech guy. So there you go. So it's just gonna be a kind of a laid back, enjoy our Irish fun and do some hymn tunes and learn a little bit about them as we go along. There'll be contemporary ballads and as well as traditional church hymns. So I think you'll enjoy it. We're going to start now with Sally Gardens. You'll recognize the tune. It's not a hymn, but it's a familiar Irish tune. And Sally in Gaelic means willow. So this is describing a willow garden. And the thatched roofs in Ireland and Scotland were made from the reeds and branches of the willow tree. So groves of willows were very common in the area and kind of a meeting place. Back in the day when dating was not as it is now, the grove of willow trees was often a place for a rendezvous. And the words to that attest, "It was down by Sally's grove, one evening late I took my way. I spied this pretty fair maid, and these words to me she did say. She said, 'Take love easy, as the leaves grow on the tree.' But I was young and foolish, and with my darling, I could not agree." So this is Sally Gardens. We'll start with the tin whistle, and then we'll carry it on in the piano. You do a little intro?
Sure.
Now we have a few tables of taste testers in-house with us today, and I've given 2 of the tables an Irish joke that they can share with you later on. For your table, it's over there.
Okay, good.
But I'll start off with one now, and I've already forgotten it. Now wait a minute. Oh yeah, I'm not the best joke teller, but these are good. Irish jokes are good ones. So this man goes into a bar. Or almost every Irish joke starts that way, right? And he sits down and he asks for 3 beers to be poured. And he sips from one, and the second, and the third. And then he takes a second sip from the first, the second, and the third. And this continues all night. Finally, the bartender said, "Sir, I can replenish your other glasses so they stay cold. You can just drink one, and then I'll watch and bring you another one when you're finished." And he said, No, you don't understand. I have 2 brothers. One lives in Australia, one lives in the United States, and here I am in Ireland, and we made an agreement that every Saturday night we would drink together. So in those other places in the world, my 2 brothers are sitting there with 3 beers, and we're all drinking together. So this went on for a year. Every Saturday night, the man would come in and he would order 3 beers and drink them that way. Finally, the day came when the man only ordered 2 beers. And that went on for a week or 2. And the bartender came over and he said, "Sir, I know your tradition, and I just want to tell you how sorry I am that one of your brothers has died." And he said, "Oh, no, me brothers are fine. I just gave up drinking." Okay, more jokes to come. Okay, Scott's going to play a little bit for us. You want to introduce what you're doing, or?
I think we could do Galway Girl.
Okay.
Well, I took a stroll down the old long walk on the day I met a little girl and we started to talk. One fine day I asked you, friend, what's a fella to do if her hair is black and her eyes are blue? I knew right there that I belonged to the world, and I lost my heart to the Galway girl. There when the rains came down, she asked me to go flat downtown. One fine day I asked you, friend, what's a fella to do if her hair is black and her eyes are blue? I knew right there I've been taking a whirl around Salt Hill Mine with the Galway girl. What would you do if her hair was black and her eyes are blue? I knew right there, been all over this world, when I lost my heart to a Galway girl. Monday. Galway group.
Now, if you're wondering at home, you're watching Scott and you're hearing the guitar, and then all of a sudden he's not playing the guitar, but you're still hearing the guitar. That's because he has recorded himself, and it's what we call tracks. So he's operating an entire computer system with his foot, in addition to playing, in addition to singing. It's just fun and games up here. Let's see. You want to try Odini quick? Sure. Or do you want to play another guitar piece? Okay.
What are you doing to your feet up there? We can't see.
So the audience, in between their bites of corned beef, are questioning what Scott is doing up here with his feet walking around. Yeah, it's a whole little console of buttons and electronics. Anything more you want to say about that?
Yeah, it's really, it captures what I'm playing as I'm playing it, and then it can play it back. So rather than having another player up here that's going to guess what I want next, I got to tell it what I want to do next, and then it says, okay, I'll do it for you. And it won't bill you for it. Yes, sir.
Is it polite to clap after the flute solo?
I don't know. If it's good enough, maybe.
So the question is, for those of you at home, is it polite to clap after a flute solo if it's in the middle of a song? In the jazz tradition, yes. After someone does a solo in the context of a bigger piece, you would applaud the effort of that musician. Because in a jazz group, those solos are rotating around to different instruments in 16 bars. When Scott is the only one playing, it's anyone's guess, but we like it, so we're going to clap whenever we feel like it. At home, you can do the same thing.
Very freeform.
We are going to switch to a familiar tune now with flute and piano, Oh Danny Boy, which I know everyone is familiar with. The question is, who was Danny? Nobody really knows the historical reference to this song. It is kind of like the not official Irish anthem, I think. Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. The summer's gone, all the roses falling. It's you must go, and I must bide. But come ye back when summer's in the meadow, or when the valley's hushed and white with snow. I'll be here in sunshine or shadow. Oh, Danny boy, I love you so. But when you come and all the flowers are dying, if I am dead, and dead I may well be, you'll come and find the place where I am lying and kneel and say an Ave there for me. And I shall hear, though soft you may tread above me, and all my grave will warmer and sweeter be. For you will bend and tell me that you love me, and I shall sleep in peace until yet you come to me. So I don't know if you remember, because it's been a while, but Senator John McCain had this sung at his funeral by Renee Fleming, the famous opera singer. That was the song that was special to him. So we'll give it a try now. decided to play next. Brothers James Eyre. All these tunes are so familiar. This tune is familiar to us because the lyrics in the Lutheran hymnal are based on the 23rd Psalm. And it was actually written at the end of World War I. And the idea behind it, it was written by, it's a really great Irish name, James Lythe Macbeth Bain. And he wrote on the inscription that it was a gift to his country and to the nations who were present in conflict, but he's welcoming them all to the feast of another great peace. And so he was an interesting fellow that was ordained as a minister but didn't travel in those circles. He kind of went off on his own and considered himself a bit of a mystic. And so he hung around people in Liverpool that were outside of the realm of the traditional medicine at the time. And he would perform healings by using music and prayer. And so this Brothers James Eyre was named for him. He was called Brother James by people in this community of Liverpool. So we'll listen to this on the piano. The streams and passing by and the words of the 23rd Psalm that fit with that tune. Oh, it's time for Irish trivia. Who would like to read an Irish joke? Did anybody at that table pick up their joke and read it yet?
You're closest, right? Yeah.
Pastor Chris, you have to come up for our home audience to see. Now give him a minute. He's not looked at this yet. Pastor Chris Hanley is our friend from Glenwood Lutheran Church. And he is part of our, actually you've come to several of these in-house tasting audience tests. Yes. There's the camera.
You look like haggard. I'm just going to have to adjust this a little bit.
Yeah, you're taller than we are because we're sitting.
Okay. All All right? Okay. O'Malley was driving down the street thoroughly worked up because he had an important meeting and he couldn't find a parking place. Looking up to heaven, he said, "Lord, take pity on me. If you find me a parking place, I will go to Mass every Sunday for the rest of me life and give up me Irish whiskey." Miraculously, a parking place appeared. O'Malley looked up again and said, "Never mind, Lord, I found one."
Sure. I'm gonna try something a little more contemporary. Van Morrison.
Scott, can you explain to everybody about that it's an electronic? Well, I'm not saying it correctly, but
So it's an electric bagpipe. If you think about an acoustic guitar compared to an electric guitar, this is the electric version of the acoustic bagpipe. So what it does is it still operates off of pressure, so we can still get the it's like a bar on a guitar that you make the sounds with. So it is pressurized. It does run off the pressure here. It doesn't require as much pressure as a regular bagpipe. So there are no reeds in the pipes. It's all electronic. So not only can you get this sound that we're playing now, it has multiple sounds you can get out of it. And you can take the drums out.
Okay, we want one.
Yeah, we don't want one.
And the only place you can get them is a place in Germany.
Wow.
I forgot the name of the brand.
Yeah.
Red pipes.
You get a bagpipe.
Are you talking hundreds or thousands?
Thousands.
Okay. Did you all hear that at home? Not hundreds, but thousands. Okay. Save your pennies.
Don't tell my wife.
Oh, okay. It was not to be aired on YouTube. It's very cool.
And you can play them indoors. You can obviously control the volume. Nobody's ears are hurting right now.
Yeah, that's a conversation we had when we were setting up. If you've ever been indoors for real bagpipes, it can be piercing. They're meant to be outdoor instruments, so this is a nice adaptation.
I think it's 140 or 160 decibels per bag.
Oh.
So when you get 3 people in, yeah. It's incredibly. When you start looking at it on a chart with numbers, I mean, if a big lawnmower at 6 feet, something like 90 decibels. So ballpark, almost close to double the volume.
Okay. We're going to continue with a piano piece now on the ash grove. And the fun thing about the ash grove is, make sure I have this all correct here. This is a very traditional, a very old medieval melody, but we know it in the Lutheran hymnal as "Let All Things Now Living," the tune. But what you probably don't know is the words to that were written by Catherine Davis, who also wrote The Little Drummer Boy. So that's a little surprise in there. So I'll play variations on this tune. There are 4 different variations on that melody. fun one that you don't get to play in church very often when you're singing it. Okay, up to you, Scott. What are you in the mood for?
Another pipe song?
Sure. No complaints.
A little more traditional. So when I'm not using the guitar and I'm not creating the loop myself, I've pre-recorded the loop up here, and it's where the backing tracks are coming from. A lot smaller than Braid, dragging 5 guys with me in a drum set. Scott Brave and Amazing Grace.
Yeah. Good. All right, Cameron, can we put you on the spot to share a joke? Oh, your son's going to do it. What's his name? All right, Anders is here. Cameron's family is from Sandusky, Ohio, and they have been here before for the Nativity Festival. And they drove up. Come on up here. Come on up here. Sure. There's a lot of people watching. They want to hear you at home. There you go. Nice and loud. Is it a good joke?
Yeah. Dr. O'Malley tells his patient, I have bad news and worse news, John. What's the bad news? Asks the patient. The doctor replied, You only have 24 hours to live. That's terrible, said the patient. What's the worst news? I've been trying to contact you since yesterday.
His sister was doing some Irish dancing when we were setting up. I think just unofficial Irish dancing, yeah. Okay, I'm going to play one more piano piece in honor of St. Patrick, Be Thou My Vision, another well-known hymn from the Lutheran hymnal. And most of these older melodies have their own name. And so the melody name of Be Thou My Vision is called Slain. And if you know the story of St. Patrick, he was kidnapped by pirates from England and taken to Ireland, where he learned the Gaelic language and became a Christian, and eventually escaped and worked his way back to England. But instead of staying in his hometown with his family, he returned to Ireland as a missionary. And at this time, he was in the village of Slane, where this tune comes from. And there was a large hill called Slane Hill. And the king at the time decreed that there was a pagan holiday everyone was to celebrate, and in that celebration they were to not light any candles for that day or night. It was a celebration in darkness. So as a missionary, St. Patrick then built an enormous bonfire at the top of Slane Hill. And so when people woke up in the morning, they saw this big light, which then he went around to profess as the light of Christ, that he wanted people to know that they're not to worship the pagan god, but the light of Christ in the world. So eventually then he was martyred, and we know as now as St. Patrick. So the song of Be Thou My Vision is based on that experience, and the words talk about a breastplate and standing on a hill in the words to the hymn, and that's referring to this incident. So I'll play a little bit of this. idea of the title "Be Thou My Vision," and people woke up and the vision of the fire. It's a long story, but it's a good story. Okay, we're getting ready to conclude pretty soon here. It's almost been over an hour, or not quite yet, but we're getting there. So what is on your agenda now?
I want to do another pipe song.
Okay.
Cool thing about doing what I do is it doesn't always have to be in the tradition or the culture of what it is. So playing pop and contemporary songs on cultured instruments. I also play steel drums, so yeah, it's really cool to hear calypso and soak on it, but people like to hear Michael Jackson too. So this was a little bit more contemporary, and I'm sure you're going to figure it out. Everybody figure that out? That was Bob Marley. Don't worry about a thing. Ready to... Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, we've enjoyed our time together. We hope that you have also online. Our next concert like this, you can actually come out of your house and come to the parking lot and have a grilled cheese sandwich. On April 11th, it's National Grilled Cheese Sandwich Day, and Pastor Pete will be making fresh grilled cheese sandwiches. We will run those and root beer floats out to your car, and you can watch the muralist paint the side of our building. And so we're still collecting money for that, and the proceeds from this dinner go toward that. So if you have not made a donation yet, be sure to contact us at St. Paul's Lutheran Church or GoFundMe outdoor mural at St. Paul's. So I think it's fitting we conclude with an Irish blessing, and Pastor Pete will do that for us.
So thank you, Scott. Thank you, Kate. Been awesome. Thank you, audience. Lovely to have you here.
Move that way just a little bit.
And very good to have you all at home as well. It's been an amazing day. I hope you've enjoyed your meal. I was so inspired by Kate this week cooking corned beef for us, or silverside, whatever you want to call it, that I cooked some yesterday. I'm going to be eating it all week. It's great. And I made my white sauce today with parsley and whatnot in it.
So that's the Australian version.
Very nice. It might be the German, I'm not sure. But hear this blessing, the Irish blessing, that reflects the Irish connection to nature, and it mentions both wind, sun, and rain. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind always be at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. The rains fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand.
Sure.
All right, Scott will play us out, and thank you all for being our in-house tasters. And thank you at home for tuning in. We'll see you in April 11th at 4 o'clock in the parking lot.
Sounds good.
Long lead on this track.